Shining a light on success is important in good times and essential in bad ones. For 23 years now, Entrepreneur of the Year has searched high and low, east and west, and gathered stories of business excellence from across the island of Ireland. And this year will be no different.
When we gathered together almost exactly a year ago, we couldn't have imagined what lay ahead of us. This year, it's even more important to come together, to celebrate the hard-won successes of Ireland's business community, and to know that together we are unstoppable.
2020 arrived in a blast of optimism, but a storm was hovering on the horizon.
China has identified the cause of the mysterious pneumonia outbreak in Wuhan City.
Today, the World Health Organization declaring a global health emergency.
Italy crossed a grim milestone this week, surpassing China as the global epicenter of the pandemic.
Ireland could claim no immunity in the COVID crisis. We pressed pause on our lives and retreated to the shelter of our homes.
Ireland has had its first case diagnosed of COVID-19.
In years to come, let them say of us, when things were at their worst, we were at our best.
But the darker the night, the brighter the stars. And Ireland's entrepreneurs rose to the challenge of a lifetime.
They have been a really, really resilient group. They have been innovative and creative as they've looked for new markets. And they've been compassionate too as they've sought to help other people in all of this mayhem. The Unstoppables is so appropriate.
They housed our heroes and fed our front line. They pivoted to protect and delivered life-saving technology to our most vulnerable.
The level of resilience and the level of innovation, it was very inspiring to see how companies responded as regards the urgency of COVID. Companies who had solutions or services that could be tweaked to offer a COVID solution.
Through imagination, perspiration and innovation, Ireland's tribe of tenacious entrepreneurs led from the front as we restarted the economy.
Across the island of Ireland, the business community have pulled together for the greater good. The essence of entrepreneurialism has never been more to the fore than what we've seen demonstrated by individuals, by businesses, by communities in recent months, and I think that's something that needs to be celebrated.
This year, the community can't celebrate like before, but together we will build a better world and we will share a brighter dawn. United, undaunted, unstoppable.
Well, it's said when nothing is certain, anything is possible. And so many of our businesses have shown that this year. The 2020 finalists have a combined revenue of €381 million and employ over 5,000 people, while also training camogie teams, raising money for children's charities, sea swimming, and welcoming brand new babies into the family. Congrats, Devin Hughes, one of our emerging nominees.
Tonight's 24 nominees are split into 3 categories: emerging, industry, and international. One winner from each of those will battle it out for the overall title, the EY Entrepreneur of the Year 2020. So where better to start than with our up-and-coming stars? In the emerging category, there are 8 nominees just starting out on the road to success. Let's meet the first 4.
Buy Me is the fastest grocery delivery service in the country, providing personal shoppers and within-the-hour delivery. For Devin Hughes, no matter how big the opportunity, the customer is king.
Ultimately, you don't have a business that someone comes and buys from you. You have a business that they come back and buy again. And that's where we wanted to focus our attention, is making sure that that customer experience was outstanding. In fact, in the first 2 years of the business, I completed about 1,800 grocery orders myself. And what I learned by doing the orders myself was to set the customer expectations, let them know exactly what they were going to receive before they received it. And almost every single time, you'd walk away with a happy customer who would come back and shop again. When you look at the total grocery market, global, online is less than 1% today. We feel that we're entering the market at a real tipping point, given the challenges that we're facing with COVID, as well as just the general adoption for consumers around their value of time. We found ourselves at a real sweet spot. I would often say, right place, right team, right product.
Conor Harkins and Rena ní Grealish's medical devices company, Proverum, is on the move. First to a new HQ and also onto the next stage of trials with their treatment for a common prostate condition called BPH.
At the moment, we're in a really small lab in St James's and we've outgrown the space. So this for us really signifies the fact that we've got the team together now to bring us through that next 3 to 4 years that we need to see the company through. I think what makes biomedical engineering so amazing is the ability to kind of make someone's life so much better with something that can be so simple.
Rena is an expert in nitinol design, engineering background, but also worked in startups. I'm a clinician by background, I'm a doctor, but I'd also worked in finance. So I think initially we were doing a little bit of everything. It's very rewarding to work in medical devices, to be building a solution that really could have an impact for a lot of men. So I think at any one time there's nearly 30 million men in the US and EU who are suffering from BPH. So if we offer a solution that is less invasive than the alternatives, that's really going to have a big impact.
Former pharmacist Leonora O'Brien's pioneering software reduces medication errors and saves lives. From Canada to Australia, Pharmapod's platform is a de facto global database of essential patient safety information.
I feel this is my environment. The patient interaction I do miss, but with software you can really scale that benefit.
Every single country has medical error. There's no country that is immune from this issue, so it's a huge global problem. What used to happen was that if an error happened within a pharmacy, for example, the pharmacist would learn an awful lot, the prescriber, the patient, but all that information was locked within that local community of people. But now, through the Pharmapod platform, we can take all of that data anonymously and we can see what are the patterns, what are the trends. We can feed that back into regulators, for example, that then publish extra guidance or extra training that's needed for the profession. I think entrepreneurship is about solving problems. So it's not that the goal is to be an entrepreneur, the goal is to solve the problem. I really enjoy problem solving, and so that's what motivates us.
Matt Cooper leads Inflazome, a drug discovery company focused on stopping the body's inflammatory response at the heart of numerous diseases, from Alzheimer's to Parkinson's and from cardiovascular disease to COVID.
As we age, what happens is we get a build-up of chronic inflammation. And this inflammation actually ends up causing many, many diseases. And our molecules that we've designed are now in clinical trials. They go and stop this harmful inflammation. What we're doing is something completely different. And that doesn't mean it's going to work, but at least it's completely different. It's something people haven't tried before. So we view Alzheimer's and Parkinson's as an inflammatory disease. So we're hoping now, by stopping this process, we can allow our body to clear disease more naturally.
8 years, Matt, of hard slog, right? It was a tough old journey, but we got there in the end, didn't we? It was brilliant.
Two key things I look, and again, when I build a team, it's motivation. You know, why are you doing this? If you're doing this to make money, you're probably not the right person for me. But if you want to help people, that ticks a big box. And then the second one's perseverance. Talent is overrated, intelligence is overrated. You know, attitude actually defines how you do things, but perseverance is key.
You can't fail if you don't quit, but you can't succeed if you don't start. Here are the next 4 nominees in the emerging category who are off to a flying start.
Brendan McDowell leads Be Perfect, an international tanning and cosmetics brand stocked globally in-store and online, with an avid following on social media.
So the online makeup community, I think, has very much changed. Makeup back in the day was for a Saturday night out, where I feel like now makeup is very much creative and artistic. A lot of the younger generation, they're applying it to get that amazing Instagram picture. So to me, Instagram makeup is very much modern day art. What's leading a lot of this is Instagram and YouTube. And I feel like there's a gap in the market to bring Instagram makeup to the high street. And this year we're opening our very first standalone flagship store in Belfast. It's almost like an addiction. When you bring that next product or you create that next marketing strategy that makes everybody go, wow. And that on top of doubling the business every year, but starting as well from very, very humble beginnings. Starting off with £500 to take it to what it is today just gives me this real passion and fire inside my belly.
Gary Wickham is taking aim at 2 huge global challenges: producing enough food and protecting the environment. Magro's pioneering crop spray system attaches to conventional sprayers and reduces the amount of chemicals needed.
Over the next 40 to 50 years, the world needs to grow the same amount of food as in the last 10,000 years combined. That's an extraordinary amount of food, 70% more food worldwide. We will not meet that challenge without sustainable innovation. Magro is a patent and proprietary technology that dramatically reduces the waste associated with pesticide spraying. The European Union just announced what's called the Green Deal. So they've made commitments that over the next 10 years, they're going to cut pesticides usage by 50%. But right now, Magro solves that problem. We have customers cutting their rates in half by 50% right now. I love working with the science institutions, but I do love working with farmers to see their faces when we can save them money. They want to be sustainable, but they need to be profitable. They need to provide for their families.
AnaBio has invented a way of protecting key ingredients during the food manufacturing process. Sinead Blyle's patented technologies lock in the goodness across a range of products, from probiotic drinks to snack mixes.
If you're trying to innovate in the food industry, you can spend hours in the lab and have a really blue sky, fantastic idea, but it still comes down to a very narrow cost margin that you have to achieve. It takes time, but we've achieved it several times. You know, whether it's 5 years on looking at one product or 5 months, it's definitely worth it. At the lab bench, you have a lot of trial and error, and you have, one piece of success. Then you reset everything again when you go into commercial production. We have no one to benchmark against. We're doing everything from new, from scratch. AnaBio is different. AnaBio is niche, but we are selling products on all 5 continents. We try to push the science to the edge.
WorkVivo's software is like social media for business. With 300,000 users in 45 countries, Joe Lennon's and John Goulding's platform has gone from novel to indispensable in a remote working world.
WorkVivo is an employee communication platform. Good things happen when you get employee engagement right in an organisation, and that's what our platform helps organisations to do. All the things that you would have had to do in a physical working environment in terms of employee morale, positivity, shining a light on the positive things in the organisation, you now have to do that digitally, and that's where our platform comes into its own strength.
When John and I started the company, one of the founding principles that we had was that we wanted to build a company that built products that were fun, engaging, and that we enjoyed working on. It's definitely a challenging thing to do, but it's also very exciting. And I think, one of the things I would say about starting a business is that you learn more in a year than you do in 10 years working in another company.
The main advice I would give is to move at speed. We see too many startups take too long. If you're not going to do it in a more rapid time frame, then your competition will.
And here they are again, our 8 emerging nominees. One of you is about to win the first of our awards this evening. The man with the golden envelope is partner lead for the EY Entrepreneur of the Year programme, Roger Wallace.
What an incredibly competitive category this year. Our very well-deserved winner of the emerging category is Matt Cooper, Inflazome.
Matt, you're looking definitely wide awake, given whatever time it is down there in Australia where you are right now. But what a great 2020 year it's been for you. You must be delighted.
Thanks very much. Yeah, it's just fantastic. Very humbled to get the award, and just want to say fair play to everyone else there. Some fantastic stories in the category. It's inspiring, and most importantly, I have to thank the team. We're just 13 people. We got 2 drugs into clinical trials within 4 years in big indications where we really need better therapies. So I'm very proud to accept this award on behalf of the team. It's been great working with them.
Well, I'm relieved that the link down under stayed up there. Sometimes it really does feel like a very small, interconnected world. Happily, the next message comes from much closer, just up the road at government buildings. And on Taoiseach, Micheál Martin.
Because of COVID-19, the format, of course, is different this year, but the importance of the event remains as strong as ever. Events like these are important to celebrate successes already achieved, but I also recognise the major contribution you will make to driving the recovery of our economy and society. Needless to say, everyone is a winner here. To have advanced to this stage is in itself well-deserved recognition. I wish you all every success today and continued success into the future. Well done, and thank you.
Welcome back to the EY Entrepreneur of the Year Awards 2020. 1 category down, 2 to go. And of course, the overall prize. Next up, our lovely industry nominees. And here they are. They hail from the top of the island right down to the bottom. Let's get a closer look at the first 4 nominees.
Seamus O'Hara's return to his hometown of Bagnallstown breathed new life into an old brewing tradition. Specialising in craft beers and ciders, Carlow Brewing Company are reaping the harvest of their hard work and the autumn fruits.
We don't have vines in Ireland, so for us, making cider is like making wine, and that's what we should be having with our food. And it's 100% Irish. There's nothing added. It's local apples here down in the southeast, which is local to us. We have a whole range of orchards and different varieties, and that can give us a huge palette of flavours to bring into the cider making. We call it craft beer and cider. We use a kind of catchphrase, brewing in the flavour. The reason we started in the first place was capturing the flavours of the great raw materials we use, rather than having that disappear in the process. When you're in a really kind of cool place and your beer has been served, like, in a bar in New York or something, and it's travelled well, it tastes great. So these kind of wow moments when you kind of say, have we done it? And then you have to remind yourself, actually, no, you have to keep doing it. So one thing about brewing, you always think you can do better.
Construction company Erigal Contracts specialise in interior fit-outs and external facades. Doors, floors, ceilings or walls, Cormac McCluskey's team can be working on 30 projects in 6 countries at any one time.
I really do love the deal. I enjoy the last 6 to 8 weeks when the pressure's on and everything's coming together, and it's a little bit hectic and you have to get it over the line. There's a pride in that you're nearly there and you want to get it finished. You're building apartments that are selling for 10, 12, 15 million. You're entrusted to do that and build that. It's good, but yeah, there's a lot of pressure on as well. We set up the Erigal Academy in 2016. It's a 2-year scheme where we take young people out of school or off the live register and we train them in interior systems and dry lining. And we also have an undergraduate programme and we guarantee them a job at the end of that. We want people who are in our business, who are in Erigal, to be passionate. We want them to feel a part of a team, feel that this is their career for life.
General Paints have been brightening our homes since 1953. With the familiar Curator and Colour Trend brands, Kevin has turned the family's blank canvas into an old master.
As a young fellow, I came in here every day and I always saw myself joining the family business. We don't have blood running through our veins, we've got paint running through our veins. Our industry is at that interface with technology and also fashion. The inspiration of the colour, but also having the technical excellence to back it up. There's not much point in having really nice colours on your walls if you have to repaint them every couple of years because the product quality isn't there. I think I like down below in the shop best. It's the cold face, it's meeting the people, and to have consumers looking for you, that's really where it's at.
Tired of unreliable suppliers, Tralee brothers Paul and Neil Fitzgibbon now source Ardree's building products in their own factories in China and employ nearly 700 from there to the shores of Brandon Bay.
Our 2 main brands would be Henley Stoves and Dainty Doors. We manufacture the doors in our factory out in China. There we import them into Ireland and to the UK. And then we distribute them to our 1,200 customers between Ireland and the UK. People are always looking for something different. We're coming out with new designs, new colours. We're working in partnership with paint companies to develop new finishes on the doors. It's a sexy industry. We would see ourselves a local company, but with a global mindset. Now we've gone into £40 million turnover this year, and this is only the start of it. We're very ambitious. We want to double the turnover of our business in 4 years. We started at a very small scale with 6 people in a small little manufacturing plant in Tralee. The harder we work, the luckier we got.
If that's the case, then all of our finalists must be very, very lucky because we know they work very, very hard.
4 more lucky devils to meet now, so.
Forged in the 80s recession, Kiernan Structural Steel began on a greenfield site at the back of Frank's and Dolores' family home in Longford. Investing in themselves and the latest technology has seen the company flourish.
I always had belief in our ability and Dolores' ability. The financial end is a very important part of the business. You have to keep that right and know where you're going and not overspend, which maybe I have a habit of overspending. The roars always kept tight ropes on the financial end, but I'd be inclined to be honest going for new machines and new plant and new buildings. The fear of failure. I haven't got that.
I would trust him 100% because he knows the business. I know the money. Simple as. Money is only grease. That's all money really is. You need money to keep going. No matter who you are or whatever, you have to have money. I'm just very happy the company is going well, the employment is going well. We can contribute to the local economy and we'll do so as long as we can.
John O'Connell had a dream to build a whisky distillery in his beloved West Cork. Along with childhood friends Dennis and Ger McCarthy, the thriving business was nurtured through tough times by hard work.
Personally speaking, I had sold this dream to the lads, to myself, to my family. Back in 2003, we went on the adventure of setting up West Cork Distillers. When the chips were down and when things were tough, the thing that probably drove us through things most of all was the friendship between myself, Dennis and Ger. West Cork Distillers, to the better of my understanding, would be Ireland's oldest and largest independent distillery. Irish whisky would be our key focus, but we'd also produce gin, vodka and also alcoholic ingredients. In the whisky area, we'd have our own branded products. We sell in about 70 countries globally. This year, 2020, we'll produce about 3 million 9-litre cases. If West Cork Distillers can play an integral role in bringing people to Ireland on whisky tours, etc., and raising the profile, I think that would be something we'd be very proud of.
While working overseas in healthcare, Ed Donovan came up with the idea of AMS, who offer health screening to companies, schools and sports organisations at their own premises. In business and in life, the point is to keep people healthy.
A lot of people that have gone through our services identified an issue that they were able to address. That's the reason we get out of bed in the morning is to try and help people live healthier and better lives. We're constantly evolving and offering new types of services as well. Our software side we're very excited about. While I might be driving the bus, I have a lot of great support. I couldn't do it without my family. That's part of, I think, starting a business and growing a business, that there's constantly obstacles. COVID is no doubt is a challenge for us as well. And while some of our services that we're delivering are down at the moment, we're now offering new types of services, like we're doing COVID testing. We're also doing home-based testing where people can do a health check at home. How you respond to challenges and just find solutions. It's what it's all about.
Ably driven by Antonia Hendren, the M50 Truck and Van Centre is a diverse third-generation business, ranging from Hopica batteries to Mercedes sales and service, and from airport service vehicles to CVRT testing.
Today is a big day here. We are officially launching the Fuso franchise for sales, service and repairs into our portfolio, and something I'm very excited about now. We have another product to sell. The company was formed in 1947 by my grandfather Vincent Hendren, and my dad subsequently took over that business. When I came into the business in 2002, it was a small family business with 20-30 employees. Every year I've added something to the business, and we are now operating at 3 times the level of turnover and 3 times the level of staff, with in excess of 100 employees at the moment. When we drive up and down the road to Waterford, my kids now can say which ones are our customers. There's Palace, there's Paddy Wagon, there's an ambulance, there's FedEx, there's UPS. You yourself, you want to succeed and you want to carry on the legacy, particularly in my case because it was the 3rd generation. My team know that I have this phrase, it ain't failing on my watch.
Well, I think we can say that all 8 businesses in the industry category are in safe hands. And here they are, our 8 finalists. One of you is about to join an illustrious group of winners. And the man with that nugget of information is EY Managing Partner Frank O'Keefe.
What an outstanding group of industry finalists. Truly the heartbeat of our economy, and a real challenge to select a winner, I am sure of that. The winner of this year's EY Entrepreneur of the Year industry category, John O'Connell, West Cork Distillers.
A great win for the Skibbereen indeed, and West Cork.
And John, do you think now is a good time for local distilleries?
It is indeed. It's a great time for local distilleries and for all sort of local artisan projects. I think it's a great opportunity and great opportunities both in Ireland and abroad also.
Unstoppables is the theme of this year's awards, and a man who certainly hopes that Irish businesses remain unstoppable into the future is our next guest, Minister for Finance, Paschal Donohoe.
I spoke last year of the decade of enormous change which was behind us as a result of the global financial crash, and how it was people like you who are the candidates for these awards tonight, who are those who have risen to meet these challenges and these changes head on. Little did we know at the time that any normality would actually be short-lived. Since last year and through the pandemic, I've really valued my regular interaction with individual businesses from across the economy and all over our country, with the aim of gaining a deeper understanding of the challenges you face and the opportunities that you see. The challenges and the opportunities of the digitalisation of our economy have featured strongly. Never before have we seen such a rapid transition to digital commerce, with many businesses adopting to new ways of meeting customers' needs, which were unimaginable at the beginning of the year, which no doubt will continue well beyond COVID-19. There are many businesses unable to open due to the current level 5 restrictions. And it's really important that we acknowledge this evening and that we continue to support them in any way we can when they reopen. I understand the difficulties these businesses are facing, many of which have been the hardest hit since the onset of the pandemic in March. And this is why the government has introduced a range of measures to support these businesses, like the wage subsidy scheme, VAT reductions, and the COVID restriction support scheme, which was launched last week. Each of these is designed to provide timely and targeted assistances to businesses to give you the best chance to survive the effects of the pandemic and reopen when it's safe to do so.
Thank you, Minister. Well, we're about halfway through our awards. So far, we have gotten an insight into the up-and-coming stars of business in our emerging category and the engines of endeavour in the industry category.
Yes, time for some more finalists. In 2020, the world seemed very small, but our next set of finalists have shown that there's room enough for some big ideas, big ambitions, and big wins. It's the international category, and here are the first 4 nominees.
Cathal Friel's pharmaceutical services company runs drug and vaccine trials. A 2020 acquisition has placed Open Orphan at the centre of the fight against COVID-19.
We'd set up Open Orphan with the view, rather than look for drugs, which is high risk, high reward, we'd focus the clinical trials. We acquired hVIVO in January. It's one claim to fame. They were the world leader in the testing of vaccines and antivirals. In London, we have a lab, our own laboratory. They also built Europe's only 24-bedroom quarantine clinic. We can make a vaccine, we can prove it works or not in 2 months in our clinic in London, whereas in community, that can take 2 years. This is my second life science public company I put together. We put it together to use the stock exchange, the public equity, as a method of financing. The beauty about public company, you've got to fail fast or be successful fast. It's not for the faint-hearted.
There is a strong thread of entrepreneurship that led Andrew O'Shaughnessy to set up Populo, a world leader in employee communication software based in Cork.
Most of our customers have thousands of employees. In fact, some of them have hundreds of thousands of employees across continents and different languages, everything. So it's a complex task. And we provide specific software designed here in Cork to make that easy for large companies to do. My great-grandfather set up Dripsy Woolen Mill. We took the raw wool in off the sheep's back and we made that into fashion cloth that we sold in London, Paris, New York, Tokyo, all over the world. The tide was going out for textiles and it was coming in for technology. So I changed from one boat to the other. And I think that's an important lesson that I learned. Always watch and see which way the tide is going. What I'm proud of is that I'm providing 200 high-tech top jobs in Cork, and they can work for a global leader. That I'm proud of.
Across 60 countries, GlowFox's software allows gym owners to manage members and build communities. With millions of end users, Conor O'Loughlin is aiming for first team in fitness software globally.
We saw an opportunity to build a platform for a huge growth section of the fitness industry, boutique-style fitness businesses. These very strong communities where people identified with the fitness businesses that they attended. They had pride in that. They exercised with their friends. It was fulfilling a social need. Even in light of COVID, where you've got these headwinds in the fitness industry in general, we've turned around some pretty unique features, allowing them to deliver on-demand content to their members so that way they could justify their membership fees. My own personal background is in fitness. I used to play professional rugby with Connacht. You see what it takes to be part of a high-performing team and to make snap decisions and being okay with that and facing up to the consequences of it. At the early stages, I was definitely more focused and driven by building a product. What kind of caught me by surprise was the pride that you'd have in your team achieving their own career goals and seeing them flourish and develop.
Headquartered in Cork, Mackin is an international recruitment and health and safety services provider. Andy Mackin is captaining this ship after 21 successful years in the Irish Navy.
Behind me now is actually one of the ships I sailed on with the now Chief of Staff, but that's where a lot of the skills that you learn and you can bring into the business environment, like the discipline to get a job done, the ability to get the best out of everybody.
It's wonderful to see somebody like you leave an organisation like ours, take the skills that they got from the place and actually use them to leverage great opportunities.
We are a business service company with two main focuses: full service recruitment on one side and environmental health and safety, consultancy and training on the other side. Many an owner is awake at night worrying about, what if you have an accident? It is a headache. People are relying on us to do a good job for them to make their environment safer. Relationships matter is our number one core value, and we hold that true right across the organisation. I'm a big believer in the stars aligning. Did I think I was ever going to get to where I got now? Absolutely not. Am I glad I did? Absolutely loving it. Is it where I'm going to be in 10 years' time? Absolutely not. Global domination. It's like eating an elephant, one bite at a time.
We only have 4 more nominees to meet. They've been patient, they've been waiting all evening, so let's do it. Let's meet the final 4.
Life Scientific is a global agrochemical supplier. R&D is housed in Dublin, while the chemicals are sold all over the world. For chemist Nicola Mitchell, growing the company has been a labour of love.
Right from the get-go, I wanted to be a multinational. That was the easy thing. For me, the definition of multinational was big. Big! But I don't want to build a company that thousands of people doing robotic jobs that will be gone. So I want the people here to really be, challenged. We just want to create oxygen and freedom and, let's experiment. I would really think it would be a life not well lived and a scientific life not well lived if you didn't have the scope to follow the intuition, and just try stuff and be free. All it ever comes down to is that you respect people and they respond in kind. And that's what creates the magic of big enterprise and realizing these big goals, from little people.
Motorola closing in Cork was the end of an era for Pat Lucy, but the start of a new chapter. It was the catalyst to start software project management business Aspira, today employing 160.
As I was gathering my thoughts and clearing out my desk, I found the CV I had submitted 17 years earlier. And on there I had stated that someday I wanted to set up my own business. So that's what I did, to set up Aspira. In 2007, a major recession was looming. But in my experience, those kind of changes also bring huge opportunity. There's a lot of churn in the marketplace. We found that we were able to win business from larger, older, less agile competitors. At the moment, Aspira has 224 active customers spread across 24 different countries. We're responsible for delivering mega projects. 4 of the projects we're delivering right now have budgets over $1 billion. And 13 years on since we set up Aspira, I wouldn't change it for the world. I'm probably unemployable now.
It was Rodney Lowry's foresight that positioned refrigeration rental company Lowe to survive a global halt to the event industry in 2020. A healthy retail arm powers ahead, while Rodney plans the next pivot.
Whenever we bought Lowe back in 2008, it was a 30-year-old company at that point in time, and we rented refrigeration only to exhibitions. And I actually asked one of the guys in the business at that point, what happens if there's a pandemic? And they all kind of looked at me and went, what? Well, there's only been one show cancelled in the last 20 years, so it's a pretty good bet. But I think as an organisation, we need to get away from short-term rentals. That was a thinking back then, and we've done that quite considerably. Every downturn, every recession comes opportunity. We have turned a lot of our people from working on exhibitions and events into looking at new opportunities for us. We're a very entrepreneurial business. We're very innovative. I suppose I've always had an attitude in life that the answer is always yes. Now, what is the question?
With Global Shares, Tim Houston's software team manages employee share plans around the world. Love brought the Londoner to Clonakilty, and love of West Cork has kept him here.
I ended up in Clonakilty because my wife's Irish. She comes from Donegal, and Clonakilty was a compromise. We love Clonakilty. We love everything it stands for. We love the community. So no regrets. Global Shares was a service company. We realised that to succeed globally and to succeed in Clonakilty, we would have to become a product company and would also have to become a broker. And that was the start of our journey. Global Shares manages employee share plans. Basically, we give skin in the game to employees, we make it simple, and then they act like owners. It's a passion, and we're building this business for the team, for the community. In the next 3 or 4 years, we want to get to $1 billion of value, and all our employees will benefit, and we believe we'll start another generation of entrepreneurs in Clonakilty. They use that capital and experience to spawn the next companies. Absolutely key for us.
Well, here they are, our inspirational, path-finding, globe-trotting international category finalists. You've had tremendous success on the global stage, and now one of you is about to add to that with the title of International Entrepreneur of the Year 2020. But who will it be? This time, the happy announcement falls to you, Minister Donoghue.
And the winner is Nicola Mitchell of Life Scientific.
Nicola, congratulations. Your faces say it all. Even the dog is smiling. How do you feel?
I am so proud of my wonderful colleagues.
He's loving it, Nicola.
I'm just so proud of my colleagues, and I wanted to do them proud tonight, and I believe I have. And I also want to acknowledge a line of very strong women that have gone before me, who have guided me every step of the way and have paved the path. This award is definitely theirs.
And Nicola, you've always thought big. Does this feel like a just reward for that?
It's my dream come true. But I am, being poor, all I have are my dreams. And I spread them under your feet.
Well, Nicola, congratulations. Congratulations to you. Well done. We're going to take a moment now to catch our breath. Don't go away, though, because we have 2 major awards still to come.
Welcome back to the EY Entrepreneur of the Year Awards 2020. We started with 24 finalists. Now we have 3 category winners, and in a few minutes we will have an overall winner.
But before we do that, each year we honour the entrepreneurial spirit beyond business. We pay homage to the leaders that we look up to. To reveal our special award winner tonight, let's welcome back EY's Roger Wallace.
Each year, our special award recognises leadership,
innovation and courage in business or wider society. People who have represented the best of us in industry, science, culture, or helping others less fortunate. This year, as so many faced huge adversity, health fears, fear of losing jobs or keeping businesses open, concern as to accessing essential services, the resilience and courage of those who kept the factories working, wheels turning, the shops and the pharmacies stocked, who reopened our schools, who tested and treated our unwell, and who kept our community safe as restrictions tightened, came to the fore.
If you haven't been in the situation of being very, very ill in hospital with this illness, you could never in a million years realise what the staff do, putting their lives at risk, putting their families' lives at risk. They are just walking angels, as far as I'm concerned.
What we want to say as a family to the people of Highfield Healthcare and all the nursing homes around the country, you are the real front line. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts, and thank you means you saved my mother's life and you saved ours.
We're a community response team set up for the COVID, and I would really like to thank all the emergency service, ambulance drivers, frontline workers, cleaners, cooks and carers who actually come in and look after all the people in their own homes, keeping them safe during the COVID.
Thank you. I would love to thank the frontline workers, especially in Cavan Hospital. My mother was taken ill back in April and was admitted into Cavan. It was quite a scary time because it was just, you obviously couldn't get in, but she was so well looked after by the doctors and the nurses in there, and they were waiting on her hand and foot. So much so to the fact that she actually didn't want to leave when it was time to go.
I would like to say a huge thank you to all the teachers who kept our kids occupied, sending them loads of projects, challenges and lessons so they can keep learning and they can have fun while we were all stuck at home during the lockdown. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to thank Rotunda because her babe was born with jaundice and they took really good care of her, and we went back into hospital when she was 2 days old and they let me stay with her and they took really good care of us.
This has been a really tough year mental health wise, as I suffer from anxiety and depression. For me to get my medication has been absolutely essential. My chemist has been amazing, and I just wanted to say a big thank you to my local pharmacy.
My mum works in a hospital and our stepdad works in the airport.
So we'd like to thank all the frontline workers that have worked through COVID.
I would like to thank the Gardaí. When I had an accident out here, they were here within a couple of minutes with the ambulance and everything turned out all right. Thank you very, very much for everything.
Thank you.
I just want to thank the likes of your local postman, your local supermarket who do online deliveries, which is essential to vulnerable people who can't get out. I would just like to say thank you to all those because you are frontline workers as well.
Thank you very much.
On behalf of EY, I'm delighted and honoured that Paul Reid, Chief Executive of the HSE, and Commissioner of An Garda Síochána, Drew Harris, are here to accept this award on behalf of their exceptional teams and all frontline workers who represent the very best of how we've pulled together in 2020.
I'm really humbled tonight to receive this on behalf of our healthcare workers, frontline workers. When many of us think back to February and March, we were all quite scared about what we were seeing on our screens across Europe, Northern Italy. And while many of us could take the comfort of safety in our homes, you know, our frontline workers just couldn't. But in particular tonight, I'd also like to recognise those people who sadly passed away, healthcare workers who passed away trying to protect us, and just say a special recognition to them and their families tonight as well.
Indeed, thank you very much. I'm very proud to accept this award on behalf of all the members of An Garda Síochána and just comment upon their exceptional hard work and professionalism throughout the year. We've been very privileged to be able to be in a position where We've supported society. We've sought out those who've been vulnerable and isolated and helped them in many small tasks, seemingly small tasks. But also then I want to comment and commend other frontline workers for all that they've done to support us, but also to support the ongoing work that we've all taken on to combat the pandemic.
Thank you, Commissioner Harris and Paul Reid also. There is one more thing to do. It's the small matter of the overall title. And to do the honours, we welcome back EY Managing Partner Frank O'Keefe.
The theme of our awards this year is the unstoppables. When we talk about forces which are unstoppable, we don't need to look further than our 24 finalists for inspiration. Many of our finalists have left behind stable working lives in other businesses to embrace the uncertainty that comes with starting up a business, and then truly making a real success of it for their colleagues, their customers, and their families. All of our finalists have developed a level of excellence in dealing with challenges and solving problems. They have bravely embarked on their entrepreneurial journey, where their path was not mapped out and where they had no option but to succeed. And succeed they did. No matter how great or impossible the challenge, entrepreneurs across our island have faced into the volatility and disruption with courage and determination. In fact, our Irish entrepreneurs have been a shining beacon of hope for all of us. I have no doubt, whatever disruption we face over the coming months, from Brexit to COVID-19 to global geopolitical shocks, our island's entrepreneurs will continue to play a central role in driving our economy forward. It is difficult to make definitive predictions about 2021. We have many tough and new realities to face. The fiscal support is finite. Health, social, and economic challenges impact all of us every day. These are unprecedented times. However, our nation's ability to dust ourselves down and showcase our resilience, agility, creativity, and innovation should never be in doubt. So finally, what you've all been waiting for. And the 2020 EY Entrepreneur of the Year is Nicola Mitchell of Life Scientific.
You're a real role model when it comes to business and women in business. What's your secret?
It's not very glamorous. It's hard work. and I've a great, I have to say this, I have a wonderful ability of attracting the best people into my circle, the best partners, and it's just as simple as that.
Huge congratulations. I hope you get to celebrate tonight with your nearest and dearest there. Well done again.
Guarantee you I will. It's the best night of my life.
Well, unbeknownst to the winner, we have a crew outside with the trophy, and we're going to send them to the door right now.
Hey, guys.
Hello.
Come on outside.
Oh.
Balloons
in anticipation. This is on Louie and Show.
Fantastic. Congratulations to Nicola Mitchell. So thank you everyone for joining us for this evening for the 23rd EY Entrepreneur of the Year Awards. It was so lovely to virtually meet you, and we do look forward to gathering together very soon.
Congratulations to all our winners and to all our finalists. We hope you take the time to enjoy the moment before setting your sights on the next challenge. But from the RDS tonight, good night.